Seek the truth. Inner plus I'm not for you. Both and are gone, what did they do? Repackage the debt, derivative change, 98% lost to financial gain. Look it up yourself, don't take my word. Networks of finance loan transfers. Usury prohibited within their home. Why your mortgage bleeds you to the bone? Be a currency, wait up there, central bank. The system said, Christian, call us in, dollar jolly, can't forget. Financial collapse, here's the proof. Second order derivatives climb while the dollar dies over time. These are facts.
Welcome back, Danksters, Danksterettes, Dankettes. It is your boy Danks from the Dankster Intelligence Apparatus. We're going to be doing episode 2 today in light of Bride of Charlie from Candace Owens. So I made a few adjustments. Now, before we kick today off, I started early because I did want to show something that I watched from Jim Brewer. It was when Charlie Kirk first got assassinated, his assassination. And it's a really nice reminder of what's actually happening behind the scenes. Also, I know that yesterday we had some chat issues. On my side, I can see everything. Don't panic if you can't see it. I did message YouTube support. They said they were on it. It was a global issue, or at least a Candace Owens supporter issue at the very least. So what we're going to do is I'm going to start off, and I want to play this. It's a few minutes of Jim Brewer. He's a comedian. If you don't know him, I'm actually going to go be seeing him in March. He's coming locally towards our area, and I look forward to seeing him. But I really want to play this clip from one of his shows that he did. He has like a basement studio or whatnot. Pretty dope dude. Real based, real God-driven content. But this really shows what we are facing. And we don't want to forget that. How this happened, why it happened, and who's really behind it. So, yeah. Put a 1 in the chat if you know who Jim Brewer is. I'd really like to know if you know who he is. If not, you're going to find out. And I will, maybe after this, I'll link the video in the description, because he does a great job, man. He's the type of comedian that we need more of in this world. So I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to play it like this. I probably should just do it like that, yeah. Or like this. Let's start like this for now. And I'll show you really, if my camera's giving me issues, what this world has become, who's controlling it, and why. Why Charlie Kirk was assassinated. I really believe he's on it here. So we're going to start off this show today. And we're going to start with Jim Brewer, and then we're going to actually show a couple of other things before we jump into the Dankster's Debrief. And it's going to be a banger. So like, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you haven't already. Share this with all your homies, your family, people that need to wake up, because this shit's real, man. It's real out here in these streets. All right. Hold on. Thank you for letting me know. Did I pull a Ian or a Baron? I think it's a Baron, right? Why is there no sound? All right. Let me know if there's sound here. There should be. I'll back it up. Let me know if there's no sound.
Every media outlet installed their fear. So
you guys hear that?
Just find it. Think about this. Just think about this.
Good.
What's the most important part of your human existence?
Thank you.
Your time, your energy, your love, your faith. All those things were attacked. And I don't care what side you lie on. This was in my opinion, this is the great monster. Sire, we have an issue. Please do tell us. Well, they're not trusting us, and the race war didn't help with the Ukrainian girl. We tried very hard to push
now,
that.
I'll remind you, this was 5 months ago, so this is right after it happened.
The race war didn't help with the Ukrainian girl. We tried very hard to push that one. However, the white people didn't uprise. I know, the race is having a difficult time. More blacks and whites are discussing with one another. Not a good thing. Yes, sire. We need something to install fear. Because when fear is installed in the humans, they look at us for their information. Yes, I love it, sire. And think about how many of you spend 24/7. Did you see what happened? Did you see what happened? Oh my God, what happened? I'm pissed. Oh my God, and this one, and the lefties, and the thing, and the transgenders, and the Democrats, and the thing, and the Israelis, and the thing, and they got you.
They got you.
They got you. We have them, sire. They're watching us. You all ran to your outlets thinking you're going to get the answer you want to appease your emotions from this event. They controlled your time, your energy, your reactions, your emotions. While I was in Vegas, I was with some other couples, and on my life, every single moment, oh my God, they say the shooter was this. Oh my God, it's a transgender. Oh my God, Trump just tweeted this. Blah, 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 blah. What do you think is really going? You know what? Do you think it sucked you like a vacuum? And they got your energy, they got your time, they installed fear. That's what the monsters want. How do you not see that? Don't you remember 9/11? We ran to the television. Oh my God, who do you think it was? Oh my God, they found the passport. Quack, quack. Hey, look, in the rubble, we found the passport. They're a bunch of extremist Muslims. Quack, quack. But when you watch 24/7, people were pissed. You took your emotions. They took everything. They took your energy. How many of you obsessed? You wake up in the morning to bring your child to school and you're not paying attention because you're scrolling about 24/7 about Charlie. And you're sitting there and like.
And this isn't to say that it's not important, right? But we can't forget that this happened for a reason. Instead of like, look, we're all on a mission to figure out who did it, but it's not more, it should be more about why. Because we can target, and look, this is going to be mostly about Erika today and her past. But when we look at this, it's so blatantly obvious, but we forget why this shit happened in the first place.
and call someone because you're upset, and you call someone, all you're talking about is like, I can't believe this happened, and I can't believe this happened. They got you. CNN, Fox, social media, none of it is going to give you the answer you truly need to understand this vicious monster. Your faith. Your God. I can't believe he said God. Yeah, I said it. Your faith, your God, your intuition. That's the only thing that's going to protect your life, your morality. Whenever these monsters look at me, can you believe it was a this and a this? Me personally, I don't buy a lot of the story. That's just me. I'm not saying not assassinate. I'm not saying that. But like an hour, like, okay, we got everything. We caught him in 33 hours. And we found the gun and we got it and everything's good. Okay. Next subject. What?
Oh my God, bro. Who oh my gosh, bro.
And we 33 hours.
Look at
an
this.
Hour, like, okay, we got everything. We caught him in 33 hours. And we found the gun and we got it and everything's good. Okay. Next subject. What? Show the shooter. Look, he's like a 20-year-old kid. Hey, I'm the one who shot him. I don't buy it. And quite honestly, I don't think we're ever going to know. We're never going to know. But I do know this. Your energy is going to be sucked. Your fear is going to enhance. Your anxiety is going to go up. Your hatred is going to build. You're going to walk away from God. You're going to walk away from your morality, and you're going to allow your energy to get sucked into the monster's vacuum. That's what's been controlling all of humanity forever. Walk away. What's the worst for? And that's another thing. Don't get upset by the human beings that are saying vile, disturbing things, that are trying to make this political. Political is a nice word for division. That's all it is. It's just division. Political. This is politics. No, it's not. It's division. That's all it is. You're either on the Phillies team or you're on the Yankees team.
It's funny that he says Philly. I don't even think he knows about Boach Ballin.
The team. You pick a team, and no matter what your team does, that's it. That's it. It's my team. Doesn't matter. It's my team, and that's that. And we'll kill them.
Let me give you a friendly reminder. Remember this? What did I show you yesterday? Division. Now, what do we see everybody talking about? Candace Owens is evil, demonic, My goodness, bro. Look at this that I replied on today. They won't stop. They can't stop because they're taking money, bro. They're taking money. Let me find it. Right here. Look at this dude. I'm officially calling for a national boycott of any conservative commentator that does not condemn the evil, demonic Candace Owens. If they are too cowardly to stand up for Erika and Charlie, they are not worth our time. We have been asking for months for people to speak up and speak out. You haven't been asking shit, bro. You haven't been asking shit. We the people stand with Erika and Charlie. No, that's not true, bro. You stand for money and selling your soul. We condemn all forms of evil. Yeah. Okay. We will not sit idly by as demonic forces try to destroy our movement. What movement, bro? What movement? And who's our? I'd like to know who is our movement. Either you are on the right side of history if you choose to stand with evil. Either you are on the right side of history if you choose to stand with evil. So he's saying you are on the right side of history if you choose to stand. Like that might, I don't think that's a Freudian slip if I've ever seen one. No, look at what it says. You are on the right side of history if you choose to stand with evil. That's a Freudian slip, bro. We can see you, Nixon. No more tuning into their streams. No more following their expos. No more liking or retweeting anything they will put out until they condemn this evil and stand with their people. And I said, is this how you really feel? Evil, demonic, demon. Quote or reply to this key post. You know, I haven't looked up what this post is. Let me see if I can get this. I'm going to continue a little bit more, Jim, but I wanted to show you the division he's talking about.
Team, or you're on the Yankees team. It's a team. You pick a team, and no matter what your team does, that's it. That's it. It's my team. That's it. Doesn't matter. It's my team, and that's that. And we'll kill and we'll fight. It doesn't matter. It's what they want. What's the Matrix say? It's either the blue pill or the red pill. The red pill is just going to offer you truth. That's it. And how hard is the truth? Once you know the truth, is it really going to affect your day if I have love and I have forgiveness and I have...
you know what would be interesting? So this is the post. I found it that they're saying in that email, right? So in this alleged email, this is the post. The key post exposing the trailer and calling it out using the language above. First of all, this post doesn't do that. So this is the exact post, I think. Let me check. 2026088658. 20260865. Yeah, okay. So this is the post. Candace Owens, who's RT? RT, freedom over censorship, truth over narrative. Candace Owens drops trailer for new series, Bride of Kirk. Trailer heavily implies Erika Kirk's involvement in Charlie Kirk's assassination. No, not really. What it does is it's just asking who the hell she is. I think it'd be interesting if we took this post. All right, I'm going to give you guys two posts. I'm going to give you that, and I'm going to give you this. And do whatever you want with it.
Faith and morality, and I want to give something to another human being, whether it be a smile, a pat on the back, a hug, even if they're disturbed, even if they hate me. That's the least you can give back. The monster wants he wants to bring that out of you. That's how the beast works, and the beast is working right now. Sire, we have them exactly where we want them. Let the haters hate. Because don't you feel we're at a time in history? Dude, I've been around the world. I spent years in Long Island, years in Harlem. I went to Egypt. I've been to almost every continent. People just want to be people. What Bob Marley say? All governments are illegal. Well, I'm not sure if I believe that. That's okay. That's okay. Let's keep allowing 300 people to decide who gets to go to war and who gets to kill one another and who gets vaccinated. That's fine. Bro. Blue pill, stay in your world. And you'll defend that world.
There you
Red
go.
pill, I know the truth. I can live on. I can forgive. I can preach love. I can look after each other, and I could turn this noise off.
So as we proceed through this, I want you to keep that in your mind. That it's all purposefully done to distract us, to anger us, because the more we go and deeper, we forget about the real things in life. And again, the Charlie Kirk assassination is very important, but we can't forget why it was done, because it wasn't done to him only. It was done to us. They showed us. What clip have you seen on the internet with that amount of reach that it had? With that amount of gruesomeness? There isn't much. Not publicly available, still available. So if they cared about any of us, which they don't. The proof is in the files. You must not forget. What did they do to us? Whether left or right, they locked us in our homes in 2020, 2019. They forced us to take things we weren't supposed to take. They forced our kids to do the same. Whether or not who was in office, who started it, who finished it, they did it to us. And they were all in on it. And nobody, not one person, has been held accountable. Don't forget that. Now, one other thing I'm going to show before we get started.
So here they start to talk about this guy, Zachariah Kari. So this is another thing nobody ever talked about except I heard on your show. And so let's play it.
Tactical vest and a black mask, possibly carrying a rifle. Toyota Corolla, S820 Bravo Lima. Suspect possible name Zachariah Kari, date of birth 5/12/2000. The male is going from hospital to hospital looking for the victim. Again, used.
So there is a police report. They got the guy's license plate. They got his car. They got his description. And they say he's going from hospital to hospital with a long gun looking for the victim. And they even have his name and his birthday. And his name is Zachariah Kari, right? So I've never been told about this before. No one's ever brought this up. In fact, here's another one.
0. Notify if located in detail 1511.
Height 5'11", 198 pounds, hazel eyes, blonde hair, male. End of broadcast 1511. Those also have male carrying a black bag with tan straps, possibly driving a 2016 black Toyota Corolla 28 Sierra 820 Bravo Lima. Suspect is Zachariah Kari, 5/12/2000. Male is going hospital to hospital looking for the victim.
So he's going from hospital to hospital looking for the victim. They know the guy's name. The cops actually go to they got his name, his birth date, they got his license plate, they got his car, so they know where he lives. They go to his apartment and he's not there. There's a police call saying we're going to go talk to the landlord. And so why would you go talk to the landlord if he was there? So he wasn't there, although his father is quoted in the newspaper. This guy, Zachariah Kari's father, is quoted saying he went right home. He was at the event and he was next in line to ask a question. Charlie gets shot. He goes home. That's according to his father, who was, by the way, military intelligence. Keep that in mind. And so this proves that's not true. Then this proves that this guy was going from hospital to hospital looking for a victim, and that he wasn't at his apartment. He wasn't at his apartment until even after 3 o'clock. He still wasn't.
So if you haven't seen that, Jimmy Dore, Barron, shout out to Barron, pulling the threads that need to be pulled. So let's get into episode 2. Welcome again. If you want to become a member, it's only 99 cents. Join us on Fridays for members only. We do a lot of fun stuff that we just don't do on these live streams, like building cool tools, AI agents, websites, hanging out, talking about conspiracy, stuff like that. So come hang out with us in the Dankettes and the Danksters on Fridays and access the archive. So if you were here for yesterday, which was episode 1, you know what we did. We walked through documented on camera, publicly visible points about Erika Kirk and her behavior since her husband's assassination. Each one alone may be explainable, deniable, coincidental, but stacked together, a pattern that does not have an innocent explanation emerges. She never dated, she said. Event of the century, she said. Merch sales 6 days after the murder. Forgiveness before a trial. Divine wrath 2 months later. Eye drops backstage. The embrace with JD Vance. The wedding photo removed from the shelf. It's like 9 cracks in just 1 hour of live streaming with me talking as slow and chill as I do. Today's going to be a little different. Yesterday was about how she behaves. Today is going to be about who she is. And I need to tell you up front, what I'm about to walk you through today comes from 2 places. It comes a lot from my history, and well, from multiple places. From my history of this research, it comes from Candace Owens, episode 1, of Bride of Charlie, which dropped while I was live or about to finish up the live yesterday, right after I finished up. And I've gone through pretty much line by line through the transcript, and it comes from public records. More things that I've pulled out, and I'll explain, independently of Erika Kirk's mother, Lorie Frantzve. And I have the Truth Finder report. So a lot of the information I'm going to be discussing comes from that. What Candace found on the biographical side and what I found in these corporate and public records, as well as the Truth Finder report on Lorie Frantzve, are telling the same story. It's the same story I've been telling you on the financial side of the Form 990s and the FARA filings and the shell companies. 2 independent investigations, 2 completely different methodologies with the same conclusion. The person on top does not match the person that's being shown or who's underneath. And today I'm going to show you who's underneath. So I called yesterday's episode, or the way I think about it at least, is the behavioral pattern. Today's episode could be called the legend or the myth, because what I'm going to walk you through is the construction of a legend in their own mind, but not the legend in the sense of someone being legendary. A legend in the sense, and first of all, everything in this debrief is expressing my own opinion and analysis of publicly available videos, images, documents, records. I'm not accusing anyone of criminal activity. I'm asking questions that I believe donors and the public deserve to be answered. Okay? This is my own opinion. I'm just a comedy. I'm just some jerk off talking on a camera. That's it. Nobody else. So again, no accusations, but also not a theory. And Candace Owens, she opened episode 1, Bride of Charlie, with a statement that I think is probably one of the most important sentences anyone's really said about the entire situation. And it's come up, but she said something is not right with Erika Kirk. Again, not an accusation, not a theory, just a statement of observable fact. Something is not right. And then she spent the next hour showing you exactly what is not right. So let's walk through some of this, and I'm going to layer my own findings on top of hers as we go, because where Candace went biographically, I went corporate as well through the background. And again, these 2 paths cross is kind of where this story starts to catch fire, for me at least. We are told that Erika Kirk was raised by a single mother and someone strong, independent, single mother, Lorie Frantzve. Lorie divorced Erika's father when Erika was a baby, raised her alone. And basically in Scottsdale, her mother worked nearly 2 decades at General Electric before founding multiple companies in the network security industry. A self-made woman, respectable, a boss. And Erika, sitting down with the New York Times just days after her husband was publicly assassinated, tells the reporter that the least traumatizing part of losing Charlie was the idea of raising her children alone, because she had seen her mother do it. She had seen the example. Her mom set the example, single mother, made it work. Now Erika can do the same. People magazine published it, and the narrative was seeded. Strong single mother raises daughter to become strong CEO, a clean, relatable, inspiring American story, except the story is not true. The story is not true. Candace found the receipts, and the receipts are Erika's own words. I've also found receipts. There's a video, you can find it, Erika before she was Erika Kirk, in what appears to be a podcast or interview setting, talking about stay-at-home dad. And she says in her own words on camera, quote, "My dad was a stay-at-home dad for a few years." And she says it started around the age of 4. And she remembers it, which I find that pretty tough. But maybe something like that could be remembered. I think I remember stuff all the way down to like 3. just vague stuff. She calls it sweet and special. This is not a woman describing an absent father. This is a woman that is describing a man who was in her house and in her life seemingly daily, making her lunch, picking up from school. And here's the part that kind of makes it worse, is that Erika's parents actually didn't divorce until what I believe to be 1998. She was 10 years old. 10, not a baby, not a toddler, not 4, a 10-year-old girl who was with her father and by her own admission physically had him present in the home for years. And there was a stepfather too, Lorie Frantzve, which I found in this Truth Finder background report on Lorie Frantzve. If you don't know Lorie Frantzve, let me see if I can pull up. I should have thought about this before. Let me pull up this real quick. It is Frantzve. It is the damn it, I'm drawing a blank now. It is the, what's that thing? Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm drawing a blank. The patent. Here it is. Okay, let me open this real quick. I want to show you something. There's a name on here. I don't know if people put this together, but I have. Maybe someone else has too, but let me show you something. Check this out. Look at this. So this is the patent of critical vulnerability risk logic analysis. The inventor, Lorie Frantzve. So this is allegedly, or what we've been finding out, is the stepfather of Erika. Strange, no? Ironic? I don't know. You tell me. So the stepfather, Larry, Candace confirmed with classmates that Larry and Lorie were together since Erika's elementary school days. Larry is in Erika's high school yearbook collage. Her biological father, Kent, is in the yearbook collage. Kent's parents, Carl and Elaine, are in the yearbook collage. Everybody's there. Everybody was present. The single mother story from back in the day is not a simplification. It is a fabrication. That's what I see. Now, why does this matter? It matters for the same reason that I never dated lie matters. Remember yesterday I said little lies add up and they become important and they seem irrelevant at the time. Because the single mom narrative was not told to make conversation. It was told to the New York Times days after an assassination of her husband to millions of readers. It was told to build this image. Sheep dipping continuously comes to mind. The image of a woman who inherited her mother's strength and independence, a woman whose entire life prepared her for this exact moment. Taking the reins, running the organization, being the boss bitch, because her mom did it first. She's got the perfect inspiration, the mother. But her mom did not do it alone. That's the thing. These lies matter, they add up, they compound, it becomes progressive. Now, that image of a woman who inherited her mother's strength and independence, a woman whose entire life, again, prepared her for this moment. Her dad was there, her mom was there, her stepdad was there, the grandparents were there. And Erika knows this because she said it on camera. So she said what the room needed to hear. And it's so interesting because I went through this yesterday. I didn't know where Candace was going to go exactly, but it was almost like the preface to the video that she did, the live yesterday, was set up perfectly by me, showing the lies, showing the history of this compounding progressive history of lying that adds up to be a one big shit show. So this is where I pick up where Candace left off, because Candace tells you the story of a single mom, obviously being a lie, because there were people there, whether single or divorced or whatever. Okay, you can spin single, but that doesn't mean that she's alone. There's a very big difference. They can say single mother, because technically that could be correct for a certain time frame. But single mother alone with no man in the life or no people to assist is a very different situation. And that is not what we see in the image they're creating for us. Make sense? They're saying they're using this technicality same way that they've done in court and law, and what they said against Candace from France and the people that they targeted in like, it's a technicality, but it's subtle. And if you don't dissect it to understand exactly what they're trying to tell you, doesn't make sense, then you just fall right into the bucket that they're wanting you to fall into. It does not look to me like a GE employee who started a small network security company. That's not what this is. I'm telling you, it's not what this is. I pulled public records. I pulled private records of Lorie Frantzve's legal name. And what came back is not a single mother working 9 to 5 or starting a small company here and there. What came back is a serial entrepreneur running at least 10 business entities across 2 states over 3 decades. Intentionally. Picture this. You're sitting at a desk. In front of you is a stack of Arizona and Ohio corporate filings. And on those filings is the name Lorie Frantzve appearing as director, president, registered agent, manager, or member of the following companies: AZ Tech International, Inc., an Ohio corporation filed in 97, re-registered as a foreign corporation in Arizona in 05, network security, fine. That is the one People Magazine mentions, and they make it sound like one little company, but it's not one little company. There is also Eurotech International, Inc., Ohio in 93. Same incorporator, same registered agent address, same name, Lorie Frantzve. Then you have Virtual Registration International, Incorporated, Ohio, same year, 1993. Same incorporator, same registered agent, same Lorie Frantzve. You have Virtual Registration International. Then you have, sorry, I just told you Virtual Registration twice. You have, IMET. Oh yeah, okay. IMET is next. So you have, okay, let me go back. I have them all listed here. AZ Tech in 97 out of Ohio, re-registered in Arizona 05. That's the one they ran with. Eurotech Incorporation, Eurotech International 93. Same incorporator, same registered agent address, same name, Lorie Frantzve. Then you have Virtual Registration International. Then you have IMET Labs and Telemet International, Inc. It's like, oh my gosh, it gets confusing sometimes. IMET Labs and Telemet of Delaware, foreign registered in Arizona, network testing and security, same address, same Lorie. You have G-Tech Industries, LLC, Arizona of 2015. Lorie as a manager and a member, it's inactive now, inactive. You have E3 Tech Group, her email domain, another tech entity. You have Desert Spirit Tech, LLC. And this one is interesting, actually. It was filed in Arizona in 2017, but the address is not Scottsdale. The address is Sacaton, Arizona. That is the Gila River Indian community, the land there. Lorie is listed as a member. Larry Guenta, her partner or her whatever, husband, business partner, tech partner, is listed as a member and also a registered agent. This is Desert Spirit Tech, TEK, LLC. And 2 other people named on this are Lyle and Shelley Reams, are both listed as members and managers with a P.O. box in Sacaton. Then you have Pinnacle Prints and Embroidery in Scottsdale. And then there is one more, Everyday Heroes Like You. This was filed December 7th, 2007, Arizona. This comes from Lorie Frantzve's Truth Finder report. Everyday Heroes Like You, filed December 7th, 2007, an Arizona nonprofit corporation registered as at the address of 9743 East Sharon Drive, Scottsdale, which is Lorie's home address. Now, some of you already know about Everyday Heroes Like You. It's been discussed. I've slightly mentioned it. Other people have mentioned it. It has been on X, but I don't think people have fully processed what the corporate filings actually say. because the filing does not just list Lorie as the registered agent. It lists the business contacts, and the business contacts for this nonprofit are Erika Frantzve, director, Erika Frantzve, president / CEO, Lorie Frantzve, registered agent. That is Erika. She's listed as the president and CEO of a nonprofit filed in 2007 at her mother's house. Now think about the narrative. The narrative that was sold to you, to all of us, of the TPUSA board as well. Perhaps they knew, they didn't. I'm sure they knew something. To the donors, to the country, to America, to everybody around Charlie Kirk's case, was that was Erika Kirk a stay-at-home mother with no executive experience who was thrust into leadership because her dying husband wished it? A grieving widow who never worked a day in the corporate world? The trad wife, traditional wife? The woman who said boss babe culture was antithetical to the gospel, but then Arizona corporate filings show her name, title, president and CEO of a nonprofit entity at her mother's address, filed nearly 2 decades before she became the CEO of TPUSA. She had this nonprofit leadership experience already in the state, filing on paper, available to anyone for search. You might know this, you might not, but the implications are important. They do not want you to know about it. Why? They do talk about, oh, I went to Romania, I started a nonprofit, but it makes you feel guilty for questioning her qualifications, and they spin it in a way that makes it feel like, oh, this is just me helping in the most abused for child traffic lights in the entire world at that particular time, and even today. It makes you feel like a monster. That's what they want, for asking questions whether the person running a $250 million organization has any idea what she is doing. How dare you question a stay-at-home mom who's trying to honor her husband's legacy? Except she wasn't a stay-at-home mom. She was already on paper as president and CEO of a nonprofit operating in Romania, and her mother was not just a General Electric employee who started a little security company. Her mother was running a network of at least 10 businesses across 3 states, with corporate filings going back to 1993. With that very same patent, I think it expired in 2005. But you don't take a critical vulnerability patent and throw it out the window because it expired. You advance it with the advancement of AI, technological advances. The legend doesn't hold up. The legend that they're telling us, the story of who these people are. And there's one more thing, by the way. I put a poll up. I'm going to go ahead and kill it. 99% said yes. Look, I sometimes struggle saying, hey, should we be asking these questions? I don't struggle that much, but some people do, right? And I said, should the public be allowed to investigate who runs a $250 million nonprofit company, even if it's a widow? 348 votes, 99% said yes. Who said? How many no's do we have? I mean, a couple? No. How stupid is that? You're paying for it, dummy. You're paying for that. That's a great question, Diggs. Who is ours and who are they? Yeah, you're a little bit late, but definitely. Or, yeah, late, I guess. But absolutely, who is ours? Back, they're referring to the post. All right, so, again, let me have some water before we keep going. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, follow this, because I'm going deep, and I'm not stopping until I feel like it, until I change the subject or whatever. We're going to keep going. There might be an episode 3. There's a lot to dig in here. I'm going to follow along with Candace. I'm going to see what she unfolds, and then I'll be continuously doing my lives post Candace off of whatever she finds out, and I'll add my intelligence into it. Now, there's one more thing about Lorie that I need to put on record, and I'm going to be careful here because I'm not going to speculate on what this means, but I'll tell you the public records show in existence and let you sit with it. In the public records, with Lorie Frantzve, there are related links, URLs that have been indexed and associated. The dang oil of oregano, man, it's so good for your stomach. But these URLs have been indexed associated with her name. So when I talk about URLs being indexed, when you're doing search engine optimization, the Google algorithm will index these URLs, meaning it ranks them and it puts them into the algorithm for Google for search, and so it can be found. And it does this automatically. You don't have to index a website yourself. If you build the website with the metadata appropriately, it will index on its own. You can go into Google Console and you can index with strength by adding material metadata to enhance the indexing. But that's really what it is the URL is moving in the Google algorithm. Now, among these links, there are multiple references to what is described as a membership list of the Intelligence and National Security Alliance, the INSA. And I believe Candace mentioned this yesterday. Let me see if I have this right here, INSA. I think I have it. Let me see. No, okay. Thought I had the clip, but so the Intelligence and National Security Alliance, INSA. It's a real organization. It's not a conspiracy theory or a fringe group. It is the professional association that bridges the U.S. intelligence community and the private sector. Its members include current and former intelligence professionals, defense contractors, and technology executives who work in the national security space. Lorie Frantzve's name appears in links to that membership list on multiple mirrored sites on burnedbolch.org. I think this one, let me see if I can pull it up here. I have this site, burnedbolch.org. So here is that site, just so you can see what I'm talking about. So this is burnedbolch.org. Secure Mirror, Evidence Preservation and Data Integrity Hub Case, Data Inconsistency in Real Estate Archives. And then they have all of these hyperlinks here. Bill Gates, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Jeffrey Epstein, WEF, billionaires, philanthropes, the secret list of offshore companies, persons, and addresses, intelligence, North Korea, the National Security Agency, okay? Lorie Frantzve's name appears in links to this memberships list on mirrored sites. This is a mirrored site, it's a secure mirror. There's another one. I think this one. This is another one. Paradoxical as it may be, during this historic dark age of lies that we are living through, I believe more strongly than ever in the power of the word and the power of the truth. The rise of the empire lies in its attempt at extinguishing every last vestige of the light of truth. Stop the ongoing G of Russia and the Russian world. There's other G's going on. I don't know when this site was built. But yeah, these exist. Now, does that mean that she's a CIA agent? No, I'm not saying that. Does it mean she was an active intelligence op? I have no idea. But if you watch Barron, if you watch me, if you watch Ian, if you watch anybody that's meticulously combing through this history of these people here, Lorie specifically, that image of her being in the office of the commander who was at the let's see if I can pull this up real quick. Right here. Here we go. Diligent Denizen. This right here. Military op. In 2012, Lorie Frantzve visited the Pentagon in DC with her daughter. And don't worry, I'll get to the super chats. I saw them here. Just because they disappear on the screen, I can still see them and I can refer back to them. So I will get to them. but she's wearing a military rank insignia on her lapel. Civilians do not rank. They don't wear rank. Okay. So again, does this mean that she's an agent? No, not necessarily. But could she be an op? And when I say op, an intelligence operative, I have no idea. But this, again, this is quite interesting. It is quite interesting, I got to say, especially when there's no public record of her actually being in the military. Now, I need to do a search on Abbas. I did know that her father's name and Erika's grandfather is of I think Lebanese descent. I did already know that. I haven't done a deep dive into that yet, but it's starting to look like I need to get to that point. What I'm saying is that her name, though, it appears in index documents associated with national security professional organizations. And I'm saying that when you combine that with the findings that we've all had found and Candace's findings, a pattern emerges that deserves some attention. Candace found that Erika was born at Good Samaritan Hospital in Cincinnati, Ohio. Keeps coming up. Ohio, Ohio, Ohio. That hospital used to be the U.S. Marine Hospital. It caused a scandal for experimenting on patients' brains, actually, if you didn't know. Let me see if I can find it. U.S. Marine Hospital, Good Samaritan patient brains. News. I think it's scrubbed, it looks like. Oh, yeah, here it is. It's a Facebook post. Let's see. Is there audio here? Let me make sure I got the audio. Yeah. Oh, I can't hear it.
Because minor tweaks over a long period of time aren't noticeable, even though they ultimately amount to a big lie. This is exactly what I have found to be immediately frustrating about examining Erika's life. Minor tweaks that almost look like they could be mistakes. And you go, but really? Do people make these kinds of mistakes? Let's start with her birthday. Okay, I'll give you another example here. Lorie Frantzve, we are told, was born on November 20th, 1988 in Cincinnati, Ohio. Great. There's a newspaper relic announcing her birth 2 weeks later on December 6th. It tells us that she was born at Good Samaritan Hospital. Fantastic. To Kent and Lorie Frantzve. Check. Amazing. One that once upon a time caused a little bit of a scandal for unethically experimenting on brains of patients, the brains of patients. Anyway, the story goes that the U.S. Marine Hospital just up and decided to gift the hospital to the Catholic Sisters of Charity out of the goodness of their Marine hearts or something. Because our military is known for that, just being really, really kind and giving up hospitals. Point is, we learned from this newspaper clipping that Erika was born on November 20th, and she maintains that birthday today. But
so that was just, I wanted to reference that. I might do some research on that. Actually, I find it quite intriguing. But let's continue. So again, I have no idea if she's an op, but it looks to me like there's something that needs to be answered. Are you an op, Lorie? Erika, are you an op? That hospital experimenting on brains of patients. The Marines supposedly gifted it to the Catholic Sisters of Charity. Candace found that the parents allegedly married and took place in that marriage in Marblehead, Massachusetts. Marblehead is the recognized birthplace of the Marine Corps. Candace said the Marines keep coming up throughout this entire story. And it's true. Military comes throughout the entire TPUSA saga, man. How can you deny that? It's fact. Now we have Lorie Frantzve's name associated with an intelligence and national security membership list while running a network of technology and security companies that has a patent to algorithmically exploit vulnerabilities, one of which AZ Tech International specializes with network security. So you have a patent that specializes in critical vulnerability dissection, and you own a network security company. Think about that. And then think about all the geofencing and generative engine optimization that I've been talking about with the ability to hop to people's phones. If you haven't seen, got to go on my channel and watch the video that shows the priest holding the phone, geofencing Americans. There's 2. Now, I'm not going to draw any conclusions, but I'm asking you to look at the pattern. Marines, intelligence, security companies, an associated list, and a daughter whose entire biography appears to have been constructed. I am holding that pattern in my mind when I research this stuff and when I talk about it, and I'm going to pull that thread harder. Now, let me take you into something else that Candace spent a significant portion of the episode on, and this is where, if you've been following my work on the financial side, you're going to feel a very familiar feeling. Because when Candace found, and what she found in Erika's parents' divorce documents from Ohio looks exactly like what I found when I dug through TPUSA's financial ecosystem. The audit that Charlie wanted. The internal audit with a Doge-style effort. Inconsistencies, not random, not sloppy, precise, not sloppy but precise. The kind of inconsistencies that look like they could be mistakes until you realize there are too many of them pointing in the same direction. It's just too coincidental. I don't really believe in coincidences. In coincidence situations, I believe that they are mostly over 90% uncoincidental, meaning they are the reality, not just, oh, this happened and that happened. I don't believe that. Now, again, I see a pattern, okay? It's all pointing me in a certain place. We are told that Erika Frantzve was born on November 20th, 1988 in Cincinnati, Ohio. There's that newspaper clipping I just showed you announcing her birth. Good Samaritan Hospital, parents, Kent and Lorie Frantzve, fine. She maintains that birth date, fine. But her parents apparently disagree. Apparently. Because in the 1998 divorce filing, Lorie lists Erika's date of birth as November 22nd, not the 20th, the 22nd. So 2 days off. And she listed it multiple times on a document that has only 4 statements of fact. It is effectively a one-page filing, 4 facts, and one of them is a birthday that doesn't match what Erika tells the world. Now, here's where it gets interesting, is that the filing also says Kent and Lorie were married on November 20th, 1995 in Marblehead, Massachusetts. They got married on what Erika says is her 7th birthday. But the document says she was born on the 22nd. But then she also says that her parents were divorced by the age of 4, raised by a single mother. But then, which is it? Did they get married on their daughter's birthday or not? Was she divorced before she had the kid, or when she had it, or whatever? Did they have these things can't be right. You can't have all of this at the same time. This is a scenario where all of these things can't be true at the same time. But it gets worse. Attached to that initial divorce filing is a separation agreement. Put a 1 in the chat if you think that Erika Kirk intentionally is lying about her birth. I want to know if you guys think that she is, for some reason, skewing the birthday. I want to just know. Do you think, put 2 if no, like she has no idea, 1 if she's doing something. I just want to know what you guys think. Is Erika all the way in on this? It just seems so strange to me. Now, Candace, she said she's a notary. I had a girlfriend that was a notary in the past. I know what that takes. I know what being a notary takes. I've watched her go to school. I've watched her work as a notary. She said you cannot just skip, and it's true. You can't just skip the notary portion of a legal document. That is not how it works. She compared it to Ohio's divorce documents that are publicly available and look legitimate. Side by side, the one in Erika's parents' files does not match what these documents are supposed to look like. Then here comes the divorce decree, the final judgment. The marriage date is listed again as November 20th, 1995. But somebody went in with a pen by hand after the fact and changed it. Let me see if I can find that. I think I have it right here.
This was the fastest divorce in the history of divorce because she filed on July 20th, 1998. And then we have a decree on November 10th of the same year. So this is like 3 months later. Once again, the marriage date is listed, the initial marriage date between Kent and Lorie, as November 20th, 1995 in Marblehead, Massachusetts. But oddly, you can see that somebody just went in and tried to edit that date by hand afterward, adjusting the wedding date down this time to 1985, not 1982, hoping, I guess, that no one would catch that. I guess the unnotarized 1982 that we saw in the initial filing was too difficult. It would have been too obvious. So this time they're attempting to do it by hand and edit the date of marriage back just 10 years, not 13 years.
I find that strange. Somebody went in with a pen by hand after the fact and changed it from 95 to 88. I don't know. Changing 88, 85, 82. I don't know what is going on. It's a third date though. And then there is yet another separation agreement attached, also not notarized. And again, I'm not the best with dates. I might be great with a lot of other things, but I'm just really bad at remembering specific dates. And so, again, like I said, this entire show is just a comedian talking crap. I'm just an idiot. So some things, if they don't align, it's because I'm rushing to try to put this stuff together and it's not easy. I try to do the best I can, but we can all agree that there's a discrepancy on the dates, obviously. Thank you, Keeper's Keeper. I appreciate that. Staying strong. That's one thing. I suck at date. That's why yesterday I was like, I don't know my timeline and I could be wrong. And just know that there's discrepancies here that we can all agree on. Okay. There are things that are another separation agreement attached. Also not notarized. I mean, we can see this is very clear, right? With yet another different date of marriage. And this one, Kent Frantzve waives his right to an attorney with no notary present. Here.
Is waiving his rights to an attorney with no notary separation agreement. Kent Frantzve is waiving his rights to an attorney with no notary present. He just agrees that Lorie's lawyer can represent him on everything. So what are we to discern from this? We are at 4 different plausible marriage dates between Kent and Lorie Frantzve across 2 documents. I should also add that I could not find a single trace of their alleged marriage in Marblehead, Massachusetts. Doesn't mean that it doesn't exist, but I couldn't find it across any date.
Very interesting. So she can't find a single trace of the date of the marriage, any official documentation of Marblehead across anywhere. And that does not mean it doesn't exist, but if she can't find it, and I know that she is looking, maybe I can find it if it exists. I haven't looked. Now, let me tell you why this matters beyond curiosity is because I've seen this before, not in a divorce filing, but I've seen it in corporate records, in Form 990s and in entity registrations. When you see dates that don't match across documents, when you see hand edits on official filings, when you see skipped notarizations of legal instruments, if what you're looking at is either spectacularly incompetence or a deliberate obfuscation. And Candace referenced a book, Xavier Persard, which I'm sure, I don't have to show it. I think you saw she had mentioned this book, Becoming Brigitte, where he describes the exact technique: minor edits, small adjustments, a wrong date here, an age off there, ever so slightly, because minor tweaks over a long period of time are not noticeable individually, but they add up to a big lie. That is what the Form 990s look like to me, and that is what Clock Tower LLC filings look like. That is what the GGLF 2023 timeline looks like. Have you seen my video? GGLF 2023. Have you seen that video? And now if you are new here, you must go back after this live stream and go and watch my videos from the first one that shows Tyler Boyer clean audit. You have to start there. Somebody I saw posted, it went viral. It has over 1 million views. A lady, she basically said, "Hey, I'm doing this independent audit, what Charlie deserved." I think I can find it because I replied to it today. And I just said, my entire channel is literally an audit of the Kirks. Oh, here, right here. So this is what of the Kirk.
Followed the money on TP. This one's for Charlie Kirk.
What happened? So this was posted yesterday, day before yesterday.
Money on TPUSA. I found a lot. Let's go. I spent my career at the CIA and NSA and also advised other intelligence agencies. I now have my own corporate intelligence firm. All of these opinions are my own. This analysis is my own for entertainment purposes only. September 2nd, 2025, Charlie Kirk basically an internal audit, but without setting off red flags to the rest of the company that he wanted an audit. That's how I read it anyway. 8 days later, Charlie Kirk was murdered. Within the week, Erika Kirk was announced as the CEO, and that audit and Doge-like effort never happened. But lucky for us, TPUSA is a 501c3 and their financials are public.
So shout out to, I think, the Leah files. So we need more people doing more of this work. Maybe I've missed something. But if you go to my timeline, if you go to, let me see here. If you go to my timeline, literally back from, if you just click videos, I have started all the way from back here. I talked about Baker Tilly and their audit and how they perform their audits and the history of garbage this top auditing firm is. GGLF 2023, the life insurance policy company, the $20 million of alleged insider self-dealing, the registered agent to the GGLF LLC life insurance company, registered by the same company that registered North Korean weapons of mass destruction money laundering, foreign built super feed technologies. You guys have to go and watch one by one and see them all. I mean, I do a full audit. I found out that there's money being sent to Israel for for the Experience Israel project, paid by TPUSA. And then I found filings of them paying Clock Tower LLC almost $1 million for research. That company closes, and then 26 months later or something like that, they open a new LLC in a different state, working on behalf of Israel for the Foreign Ministry of Affairs. On my website, right here. Okay, I'm taking a little quick side note. Right here, Clock Tower investigation. $999,000 to a nonprofit dissolved in Nevada. FARA registered popped up with the same name, and the person helping run, Brad Parscale, helping run an influence campaign on American churches. They've taken $9 million. They've taken $9 million, you guys. This is the FARA filing is right here. Registered under Bradley Parscale, campaign manager for Donald Trump, longtime associate. He worked with Charlie Kirk for nearly a decade. The filings, they show that they're engaging with this company, Havas Media, by or on behalf of the state of. The contract value is reported as approximately $9 million. They focus on including anti-Semitism campaigns, AI-driven content generation, SEO manipulation, and integration with Salem Media Network properties. America's Turning Point gave $999,882, something like that, to this company, Clock Tower LLC in Nevada. They actually shared the same building, the registered building. Clock Tower X LLC pops up in Delaware in 2025 as a foreign agent. It's all too nice and tidy for me to just ignore and act as if it's a coincidence. Okay. Go through my videos. I've done a full-blown audit, and I really left some stuff out that's kind of like, I mean, I've gone all the way to the point of, check this out. I've gone to this point to where I even went in on John McGovern. IRS requires for the, what if I told you that the highest paid person in the entire Turning Point USA entity for that year of 2023, filing of 2024, was not the CEO, not even the COO, not even Charlie Kirk, so the highest, I mean, then this person opens an LLC and funnels money through the LLC. It's like he learned from people that hired him or that he started working with. They're all doing the same shit, bro. Look, bonus and compensation. I started to get pissed. John McGovern as a fundraiser, but he has his own company. Grand Canyon agent as, I mean, it's like, what are we doing here, man? Breaking the law to just take money. And then if you're making, like, at least he's smart and he's living in a regular home. I mean, not that smart because he's doing some dumb shit. I thought I had the image of where the house was at, but whatever. I digress. There's obviously something going on. And if we're going to ignore it, we're stupid. So back to what Jim Brewer said, why did they do all of this stuff? They kind of made a mistake because we've had enough. We have had enough. We've had enough. They shouldn't have fucked with Charlie. I mean, if it wasn't Charlie, it was going to be somebody else anyways, but they shouldn't do this stuff because guess what? Their whole bullshit is going to be exposed. It's being exposed as we speak. All right. Now, I got a little off topic, but that's what we're looking at when we see these Form 990s and the changes or leaving things out and adding things in and all of these things, right? It tells a story. And since we're talking about documents, let me add something from my own research. Candace said Erika's 4 questions before episode 1 dropped, I think. One of them was whether Lorie was actually married to Larry Guenta or whether she just used his last name. Well, I can tell you, sometimes I wonder, I just want to pull up the truth finder, but I don't like just full-blown doxing stuff, but at a point now where I really don't give a shit. Okay. This is the same person that started the application. These are all the people that are apparently in her family tree. Where's Erika? Where's Erika? Possible relatives. Is this just an upline? Or a downline, I mean, where's Erika? It's very strange to me. And then here, I'll show you the, while we're looking at this, again, I can tell you, this is in 2002 when the Scottsdale house of 9743, let me put 9743, East Sheridan. Okay. So this property had been transferred, but through the ownership details list Lorie Frantzve's lists the relationship type as, and this is a direct quote from the filing, as unmarried woman. Let me see if I can find unmarried woman. This is a transfer deed. Okay. And this happens, I think it shows twice. Unmarried man, Ronald. I mean, there's a lot of information in here, you know. So you have a unmarried woman, the seller on that transaction of Lawrence Arguenta, Larry, the man she had been living with or had married or stepfather or whatever, the same person that helped develop this algorithmic vulnerability detector, the same man that had been living with, or at least around Erika since elementary years, the man in the yearbook collage, the man who shares every corporate filing and every property title, Lawrence Guenta, seller. I mean, how many times is Guenta show up in here? 8? Who's the other one? Look at this. We have Travis Guenta. This might help. Take a screenshot. I don't know. See what you can dig up. How many times does Guenta show up? 1, 2, 8 times in this document. A lot of overly entangled situations here. Family deed. Business contact. Reams. Remember I was telling you earlier? So this is funny. Lorie really got around. You know, when you're on a mission, trying to get things done, you know, when you're potentially an op, got to get shit done, man. You got to smash and dash. Anyways, they have been married, right? I don't know when or how or whatever or wherever, but in 2021, they appeared together on the property title. I'm just showing you, but the 2002 filing is on the record and it answers Candace's questions with that data point. And while we're on that property, let me show you something else because of the ownership history of 9743 East Sharon Drive is a story in itself. Let me see here. 373. Here we go. Okay. So Lorie Frantzve purchases a property from Lawrence Guenta, listed as an unmarried woman, cash purchase. Then, let me make this a little smaller so I can see it. I have to do that. Okay. Then, I zoom in a little bit. All right. Let me see how I can explain this here. So you have the mortgage of $373,500, adjustable rate conventional. Okay. Then a refinance, $444,500, adjustable rate conventional. Then a refinance, let me see, $518,200, adjustable rate, 20 until 2035. Then refinance, $550,000 adjustable rate. Each time the mortgage amount goes up. No? She's pulling equity over and over again. That's what they do. Pulling equity. So the 2009 transfer, let me see. 9 transfer, I think it is LAF. Let me see, LAF. I think it's a bunch of times in here. Here, I think this is it. 2000 and does it show the year here? And Lorie Trust, LAF. Yeah, so LAF. Let me see if I can find the cash purchase. What am I looking for here? Adjustable rate each time the mortgage amount goes up. The property transfers to something called LAF Trust in 2009. Let me check 2010 for the LAF Trust. Where is it at? Tripping. Transfers to Lorie and yeah, Lorie. Let's see where it's at. I think it's right here. Virtual registration. Either way, I was looking at the. Let me see the adjustable rate for the property itself, 2009. 2009 assessed value, LAF. I think this is it. I mean, there's a lot of info in here. So basically what I'm trying to show you, which I'm not organized enough right now to show you, but a new mortgage actually appears. Let me see if I can find this 470,000 right here. So you have a new mortgage that appears, okay, under the ownership of Lorie Frantzve, Lawrence Gwenta. And then that becomes a 30-year term due in 2051. Then in 2022, I should create a separate video maybe explaining the timeline because it's kind of sloppy. I didn't plan to do this. I didn't want to do this, but I decided it kind of fits right into what we're doing. But essentially, what we're looking at here is equity being pulled, which is normal. It's fine. But then the property transfers to something called LAF Trust, which is a cash purchase, transfers to Lorie A. Frantzve and Lawrence R. Gwenta. Immediately, same month, November of 2021, it transfers to LAF Trust. Let's see, November 21. Can I pull it? I don't think I'm going to be able to find it. So anyways, transfer to Lawrence and Gwent, to Lorie and Lawrence. Immediately, same month, sold or transferred to the trust via quit claim deed. Maybe I can find quit claim deed. Quit claim. Yeah, here we go. All right. And then the new mortgage appears, a 30-year term. So there's something going on here, intertwining. Then in 2022, it transfers again to the Ann Lorie Trust. Let me see. Ann Lorie Trust. And there's 3 of these here. Ownership history. 3 of the Ann Lorie Trust. So what am I getting at? You've got the same house, 5 ownership changes, 4 refinances, 2 trust entities, multiple round trips between personal names and trust names. And at the end of all of it, the house that was originally purchased with what appears to be a cash transfer from Larry has a mortgage due in 2051 when Lorie will be 101 years old. In my world, when I see assets cycling between personal names and trusts with escalating debt instruments and refinancing it at each step, I know what I'm looking at. I see it in the TPUSA financials ecosystem with entities like America's Turning Point or GGLF or Clock Tower. Same pattern, different scale, assets moving around, entities getting created, ownership's changing, money moving around, debt gets layered. And by the time anyone tries to trace where the money actually went, the trail has been shuffled so many times that it takes a forensic accountant to untangle it. That is what the Scottsdale property situation I'm just showing you now looks like. And it is the house where Erika Frantzve was listed as the CEO and president of Everyday Heroes Like You. Don't believe me? 9743 East Sharon Drive, Scottsdale, Arizona. The same house address of all that stuff I just told you. Here, let's take this and see how many times it's listed. It's listed 32 times. 32 times. They're using it for everything. This house. Should we go take a look? Put a 1 if you want me to go take a look on Google Earth. Let's see what this is. I think I looked at it before. So this is what we're looking at. This is where it is. Can we get on the street? No street data available. Very convenient. No street data available. Right here. so bad at this. This is it right here. 32 times on Lorie's history right here. To me, it looks like, I mean, if anyone traces where all the money actually went, the trail has been shuffled so many times, man. You can't. I mean, that is what the same address of everyday heroes like you. Somebody's hiding money. Somebody's moving money. Somebody's trying to get out of taxes. That's what trusts are used for. That's not what trusts are used for, but it's a benefit of using trust. Now, I'm going to take you through into a part of Candace's investigation that I think is going to define this entire series going forward, because what she found about the family connections doesn't just raise questions about whether Erika lied about her childhood. It raises questions about whether we knew who the actual, who we know, whether we know who this person is at a fundamental level. Erika identifies deeply as Swedish, publicly, proudly. In 2019, she posted that she had commenced the process of obtaining dual Swedish citizenship. She posts constantly about her grandfather, Carl Kenneth Frantzve, or whatever. She refers to him affectionately on social media over and over across years as her morfar. And I thought that was kind of silly. I was like, oh man, Ben Shapiro's going to have a blast with this one. Morfar. I thought it was kind of funny, but it's actually important. Okay, this is important here. I'll just let you watch it.
Date down this time to 1985, not 1982. This is not subtle. It is not normal, and it bothers me greatly. Take it from someone who is chronically being sued. That is not how modifications work on court documents. You can't just use a pen and write something on a divorce decree. You just can't do that. As her morfar. Saw this over and over again. You'll just see posts of him on how much she loves him. She even mentioned her grandmother there. That's his wife, Elaine. And she says she is my angel in heaven, but I usually call her Mormor. So that's her morfar and her mormor. Show you another post, just her grandfather, where she's going to talk about reflecting upon losing him.
I want to say, James Lee, God bless you, bro. God bless you, homie. Doing good work, my guy. I hope to cross paths with him one day.
In 2016, she's posting this, and she again is going to address him as her morfar. This appears to be another wrinkle. You see, I received a flurry of emails from our fans in Sweden about this particular post, and they did not like this post. And what they told me about it, they didn't like about it, made me reconsider things. Now, I'm paraphrasing, but they said, Candace, Erika is referring to her grandfather as her morfar. I was like, okay. So I looked it up. It means grandfather in Swedish. Like maybe she doesn't, but it's cute. Okay. Maybe she's not fluent, but it's cute. And then they explained it to me a little further. They said, no, Candace, the Swedish language is quite literal here. Morfar quite literally translates into mother's father, morfar. And farfar quite literally translates into father's father. We have different words for these things.
So I'm not going to play the whole thing there, but it just sets the groundwork. So morfar so she has her, Candace has a Swedish, obviously some Swedish audience that has reached out, or people that she's connected with. And basically the word for grandfather is not one word. It is two words or syllables, and they mean different things. Morfar means mother's father. Literally, mor is mother, far is father. Far is father's father. It's literal. This is not interchangeable. A Swedish person would never, ever, and I actually asked this Swedish friend, and they said they never would they even allow it, really, which speaks to like how people are in different countries, really laying the line and setting making sure that things are done properly and set accurately. Far means father's father, far is father, far is father, far, father's father. I sound silly saying it. But again, these aren't interchangeable. It would be like calling your grandfather uncle, she said. It is not a dialect differentiator. It is not a regional thing. It is just wrong. And like Candace even says she received emails from Swedish fans who were emphatic about this. In particular, a Swedish grandfather would absolutely correct you, and I've confirmed this as well. He would say, and if you're Swedish out there, put a 0 in the chat if I'm right. You know, if you're Swedish, if you know for sure, just put a 0. If I'm right, let's just put it out. I would love to see if there's any Swedes out there, or if you know for sure. But anyways, Erika calls Kenneth. She calls Carl Kenneth Frantzve, who is Kent Frantzve's father, her morfar, Kent's father. She is calling her father's father by the word that means mother's father. Either she is making a bizarre, and it might sound like super silly to even dissect this, but a persistent years-long mistake about a language that she identifies so deeply and profoundly with that she pursued a dual citizenship? Or is she like, what is she doing? What is she accidentally like spilling the truth about? What is she doing, Erika? If she is telling the truth, if Carl really is her morfar, her mother's father, then Kent is not her father, because Carl is Kent's father. And it's confusing, but if Carl is Erika's mother's father, then that would make Erika's mother is one of Carl's daughters, one of Kent's sisters, not Lorie. So Candace said this, and I want to be clear. She labeled it as speculation, and I will stick with that as well. She's not claiming this as a fact, but she said the speculation is worth noting because of what comes next. March in 2019, Erika is in Jerusalem with Charlie. They visit Zion's Gate, and Erika posts a photo. And I was looking, I have this timestamp here, but I don't know if I'm going to play it just yet. I might take a pause to just go through some of the super chats, because I know some people are in between. It's already been an hour and a half, and there is going to be a episode 3. So we'll go through this Zion's Gate, and then I'll read some super chats, and then I might continue depending on if people want to hang around, and I'll still go. I've got another hour before I have to go. So again, she's in Jerusalem with Charlie, and Erika posts a photo with a caption that says, and I quote, "She was sitting by a family's dedication sign for restoring the Zion's Gate, Jerusalem." Let me pull this up here. I think it's at 41 minutes. Right here.
Just how removed this is. It's insane. Okay. Nicole wouldn't be lying. Nicole Rothstein would be Erika's father's sister's husband's previous wife's daughter's daughter. In other words, 0 blood relation, not even kind of related, kind of crazy. You would even call each other cousins. People do that. It's cool. It's my cousins, my cousin. Okay, cool. Erika goes a little further though. Erika also posted a lovely tribute to Alan Rothstein, Nicole's father, online. She called him the truth about who her parents are to Erika.
I want to find that exact picture of them at that location, but it's all right. Thought I had.
Well, she's my angel.
Oh well.
See, I
thought there was an image, but oh well. I'm not gonna waste too much time there. So, anyways, she was apparently sitting at this restoring for Zion Gate in Jerusalem, her family's dedication. The restoration of Zion's Gate was financed by Jack Solomon. Jack Solomon married Kent's sister, Carla, in 2002, I believe. So Jack Solomon is Erika's aunt's husband. Not blood family, a man who married into a branch of the family, but Erika calls the Zion's Gate dedication her family's dedication. And there's more, which Nicole Rothstein comes into the picture, who is Jack Solomon's stepdaughter's daughter, calls Erika her cousin and her best friend. Erika calls Nicole's father, Alan Rothstein, her uncle. It's like everything is mixed up on purpose. It's like, let's just say as much bullshit as we possibly can to confuse people so that they'll never figure it out. It's like a ball of yarn that has been so intertangled that you just have to cut right through it. There's nothing you can do to actually figure it out. But there's a lot more here. I think I'm gonna read the super chats for now, and then depending on how many people want to stick around, and we'll look at the stats here, and I'll keep going. If not, there's only a few, so I just want to say thanks to Keats for the memberships. Keats always coming through. I appreciate you, bro. Say thank you to Keats if you received a membership. Welcome. Join the memberships if you want to become a Dankster or Dankette, Danksterette. On Fridays, we do members only lives. That is coming up tomorrow. I would like to continue, but I also don't mind showing some other stuff. We might actually just kind of hang out, look at a couple clips. I got a little bit of time to spare. So instead of continuing, and I'd like to cut this and do episode 3 tomorrow, wait to see what Candace comes out with, but we'll definitely entertain some other things. If there are things that you want me to pull up, throw a super chat and I'll pull up something if you want me to play it. Welcome blindly. Keith Tank, $5. Anyone notice the Inc. Incorporation Candace mentioned? Lorie partnered with someone, last name Vance. Any relation to JD? Let's take a look. Let's take a peek-see. Is it on this document? If it's on this document, I'll find it. I don't have Vance here. But interesting. I'll make a note of that. Let me pull up my notepad. It said incorporation, Candace mentioned. Lorie partnered with someone, last name Vance. Okay, cool. I'll check it out. Thank you for the super chat. Keats, go effing Max, brother. Australia, love, hit the like, Danksters and Danksterettes. Thank you for the super. Smash that like. Oh, he gave another 5. Bro is hooking your brothers and sisters, your Danksters and Dankettes up. I'm telling you, we have a really dope community building around here. We really do. We've got something special brewing, and I've got a lot of dope shit to do. I'm doing a lot of dope shit, actually. There's a website. I've got like a bunch of websites I'm building, but I have 2 in priority. One I really don't want to talk about until it's released. I will show you what it is, but it's basically a Patreon competitor. It takes way less money from you, and basically, as a creator, it gives the opportunity for creators to monetize a private community. I build and operate the Discords, moderate them. I have AI agents and bots that have the creator's personality. That's one that's already built. I'm just fine-tuning the security. It's all military-grade infrastructure. It takes some time to tile in. And then I'm building a website called X Algo Exposed. So if you're an X user, a Twitter user, basically I got access to the code of the X algorithm. It's called Phoenix, and Grok is their transformer AI. So if you're a member for 99 cents, you get free access. You get access as a member of my channel to the tools that I'm building. There's another one, like right now, I'll show you Dankster AI. I haven't worked on it. Maybe we'll work on it tomorrow. But I built an AI agent. I'll change the picture. I just put it up there. It was fun. But it talks, I mean, it's got my personality, right? Like, what do you think about Erika, Kirk? So I'm going to end up changing and putting like a login that attaches to your YouTube. So if you're a member, you'll get free access. If not, I don't know. This might just be for members. We'll see. But it's got my personality. Yo, Erika's name keeps popping up whenever the TPUSA saga rolls around. From what's out there, she basically is the frontline spoke. Yeah, I mean, you can go mess with it. I don't mind. If you guys want to check it out, I'll put the link in the chat. It is really like, I haven't worked on it except for one day that I was working for like 6 hours in the members only. So it might give out bullshit. I need to work on it. But there's random information in there. So become a member and come hang out. And if there's something that you want to build, I'll build it. I mean, that's what I do. I'm a builder. I'm a creator in the truest sense of the word. I build shit. I'm not just here talking shit, although I do talk shit too. Building shit, talking shit, breaking shit. Thanks, bro. Welcome. And say thanks to Keats if you got a membership. $5. You're awesome, brother, doing amazing work. Thank you. I appreciate you. Salute. Judith, welcome. And also, by the way, you 99 cents, whatever, you can become whatever member you want. You'll be able to have access to these tools and have insight and be able to speak your mind on what you want to maybe have built. What I'm thinking about doing is there's an app that I use here. If I show you, I don't know how I could show you. I guess I could show you like this. This is it's called StreamYard. And I'm actually thinking about building because on X, like if you're viewing on X, how many people are viewing on X? 555 people are watching on X. You can't get super chats as a creator on X. You have to come to YouTube. I would like to know, since there's 555 people watching on X, put a 5 in the chat if you would give super chats if I were to build an extension that hooks into StreamYard so people on X can give super chats. Put a 5. Even if you're not on X, if you watch from X, put a 5 if you would give super chats and other things if I could monetize for StreamYard users on X. I think that would be very interesting. It's something I've been thinking about. I've talked about it many times. Hopefully I didn't just let the cat out of the bag. But I think it needs to be done. X is sleeping. All right. What else we got? Some supers and memberships. Welcome, Judith Gilliam, for being a dankette. Danksterette. Judith Gilliam, hey, we just saw your name. $5. Thank you for bringing truth, light, and clarification to all things. You're welcome. Thank you for watching, liking, sharing, subscribing, contributing. This is important work. I think that community and divulging information is important. And bringing truth to light just happens to be that I'm good at research. Thank you. Carrie HS with the Canadian $10 make a holla. CO Candace Owens months ago sent out a kill switch to 8 people if something happened to her. What if CK sent a kill switch to Candace Owens with all the info Charlie Kirk had when he found out about Erika? That would be interesting. I thought about that, actually. I mean, you're insinuating that what you're saying is true, that you think that what you're essentially saying is that Charlie found out that Erika was not who she says. And that is so entangled because you don't need to die or whatever. Like, she doesn't need to kill him. It's just, for sure, there's a lot of questions and people don't understand why there's so many issues and why this web is so tangled up. I'm not insinuating that Erika had anything to do with Charlie's assassination. I've never once said it and I never will. But I am showing that there's a lot of inconsistencies that need to be addressed. They don't want to address them. I don't know why. Instead, they resort to this. They resort to this garbage that I've shown you right here. I mean, this is crazy. Ian, he responded. And like the way that they respond is so crazy. Like, you can put this, that's fine, with your little Freudian slip. You're on the right side of history if you choose to stand with evil. That's a nice one there. But look at how they respond. It's the same person. We haven't forgot you hated Charlie Kirk. Now attack his widow wife. Go to hell. I think this is actually a fine statement. Charlie realized that he was doing something that he probably should have moved on from, right? I think that it's important that we all know where we stand in the past, but just because Ian said this doesn't mean he hated him. Look at the lies. Look at the lies they're willing to spread. We haven't forgotten you hated Charlie Kirk, now attacking his widow wife. Hate? Where does that say hate? Like, that's how misconstrued and demented people are, is they don't understand what the word hate means. Ian is literally just saying it how he sees it. Jesus defeated death so you can live. Ian says, and you've dedicated your life to serving the people who killed him. And then some people are saying that Charlie devoted his life to the same people that killed him as well. Were they involved? I don't know, man. I don't know. Definitely strange. Hammer. The hamster. Thanks for the super brother. A brother, Danker, or Dankster or Danksterette. Kari. Could go both ways. Mad World. Hey, mod in the house. $2. Just want to show some support. Thank you. Looks like the chat's working fine. Yesterday we had a disaster, apparently. I didn't see it because on my end, I see all the chats coming through. But we're doing pretty healthy. We can get some more activity in the chat, I'm sure, but it's been great. I think some of the silence in the chat, it's not silence, but when people are paying attention and are engaged, that's important. Welcome to A1 East Costanita. A1 East Costanita. Welcome. Mom Ranger 2010, member for 1 month. Did you know if you're a member after 1 month, for every month that you're a member, you can post instead of paying, if you click the super chat button, like say we go on my live right now. Say we go on my live, right now, and you want to give a super chat, you can click what is that? Oops. Instead of giving a super membership, you can actually, it'll give you an opportunity to give a super chat with your membership for every month. So you can click that money button, and instead of paying for a super chat, you can give one with your membership. So I see it. Just so you know, maybe some people didn't know that. Thank you for joining and welcome, Mom Ranger. Gotta love the moms. Keep us in line. Royal Vibes Inc. Royal Vibes Inc. Why does that sound familiar? My pronouns are just kidding. I like it. Sounds like something you got going on. You got a video. The revolution will not be monetized mix. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Come hang out tomorrow. Love the new time slot, mate. I can be here longer. So okay. So this was a 10:35 start time. I can do these times. It actually works better for me because it's like right after coach ends, and then when he goes live, and then it's right before Candace goes, and then it gives me time to like not rush or kind of hang out after I do the debrief and stuff like this, which I like. So I like the time slot. I was doing it like 11:30 around noon to start Pacific Standard Time, California time. But let's do this. I'm going to run a poll. Most of you that are here are probably regularly here. So I want to find out the time. Yeah, and then you catch Baron. So it's perfect because if Coach goes live, you got Coach, then you got me, then you've got Candace, and then you've got Baron, and then you got Ian, and then you've got Baze. Baze, you in the chat? So we've got a whole timeline. I think there's like one slot. I think Mr. Let Go or Jesse on Fire, but they're kind of random. I love doing live streams. I love engaging with all of you. I put the videos out for more reach, but I love to do these live streams. This is like how I prefer to do it. I'm a live streamer. I was in live streaming for crypto. I was live streaming gaming a long time ago. So I will continue this. Let me put this time thing up. Do you prefer the earlier start time on these lives? 10:30 a.m. PST. Or later, 12 p.m. PST. And then I'll put 10:30 a.m. PST, 12 p.m. And then we'll run a poll PST. I'm just going to give the two options. So there's 535 people. Hit the like button. Vote on the poll, 10:30 or 12. So it's basically an hour and a half before I've been starting. Thank you, Keats, for raising awareness to my timely effectiveness. Hey, €3. That's like $5 now, huh? Oh man, my money just got into. I just started putting a little bit of money into stocks. Again, I've been in crypto for so long, so I got to look at my Webull account because I am starting to. I'm looking at this stock that I've been looking at since last summer, and it is one that I wanted to start putting a little bit of money into, not a lot. It's a high risk stock. I was a financial advisor in crypto, not like legit, but just like YouTube dude, you know. However, I was good, dude. I'm really good. I'll be honest. I'm a beast when it comes to trading, when it comes to finding good plays, when it comes to high quality buys and selling at the right time. I'm your guy. We could get into that stuff. I wouldn't mind, to be honest. I like it. So we could do that. Verify. I want to see if that money hit my account yet. It's only like $100, $200. Buying power. Ooh, we got the buying power in the building. Yeah, $263. Start small. I do what's called a dollar cost average. So I buy small amounts like daily or weekly. But there's this one that I'm looking at. I'm just starting to use this platform. But there's one that I'm looking at. I just wanted to show you this because I think it's interesting. And if you guys want to look into it, how do I use this damn site? Stocks. I want to go look at the stocks. I got to figure out how to use this freaking site, dude. I've already opened my account. Live quotes. Okay. There's this thing out there. There's this stock out there. How do I got to figure out how to navigate this site. I want to show you something, but there's no like search button. Futures, index, investing, desktop app. Is this it? No. Well, I don't want to waste too much time. Here, there we go. App.webull. So there's this stock that I'm looking at. Where am I at? Not my positions. Markets. Can I search? TMC, the metals company. So it's it's down today, which is good. Okay. So this company, and I'll get off of this in a second, but this company is in the middle of a policy shift. And what they did is they're mining in the bottom of the seabed all of these metals. They launched and they dumped, and now they're doing what I would call a very bullish move. I first mentioned it to the homie Jesse at 550 or 60, but I think this is a play I'm going to start putting money into, just not financial advice. But anyways, this is the type of fun stuff we do on the members only, just to give you a taste. But yeah, thanks for the pound. You made me think about money, finance with that euro or franc or whatever it is. Julie became a member. Welcome. Anne Marie Tipton. Hey, haven't said hi in a hot minute. Hey, you're using the member for 1 month strategy. I like it. Learning things. What's up, Danks? From Anne Marie again. Sitting at my desk at work listening. Great time slot. Yeah, absolutely. It is a great time slot. Thank you. Yeah. Lots of cool stuff happening in the world of Danksters. I think I want to place this buy real quick. Let me see. Oh, it's dipping right now. I mean, we literally could go through and I could show you how to find setups and find like support levels. Like right here, if I don't know if you can draw on this chart. I haven't tried. Drawings. Can I draw a trend line? If you look here, right where we are right now on this price, we're actually down a little bit right here. This is what would be called a support level. So if you look on support, it's hitting this place that it's bounced, it's broken through and it bounced again, tested and bounced again. Most likely, this is a high level, heavy level of support. Oops. It bounced again as well over here. I moved it. But you can see that this is a pretty significant level because it bounced here as well. And it was rejected right here. So on the 5-minute time frame, at the very least, it looks like there's a good buy opportunity here. And we're up on the day. So yeah, might make a little buy there. Marie Pickard sent another email with more details. Man, I'm getting so many emails. It's so crazy. I will try to find it. I think I did see your email actually. I try to read them all, but I'm telling you, I get so many emails. You guys would not believe how many freaking emails I get. It's kind of crazy. I'm going to put in a buy order real quick on this. The price. Should I just market order it? Fuck it. Unlock to place order. All right. I want to show a couple of videos. Some stuff that I've been watching. I'm going to buy this stock. Wants me to verify my phone. And what we're going to do is I want to show a couple of things. Oh my gosh. The guy that yesterday I said that I was thinking about a friend that he took his own life. And I texted his brother yesterday. I told you guys, and he just texted me back on Facebook. I miss them, man. I miss them a lot. Damn, I miss these guys, bro. I miss Aston a lot. He's a dear friend of mine. He was 17 years old. He's gone through some family stuff, and he took his own life, man. He took his own life. It's just sad. But anyways, I'm sorry for your loss. It's not, I mean, I appreciate it, but I feel bad for his mom, dude. Let me see if I can pull up the information. I don't think that they know that I do YouTube and stuff. But this was a Tennessee record. Here, let me look here. So I was born in Nashville, raised in Memphis. And this is the obituary for Aston Corbett. Mom, brother, beautiful people. His mother is an amazing woman. Single mom, true single mother. His father was in prison for various things. But Aston and Aaron, there were two brothers, like 1.5 years apart, 2 years apart. Aaron was the older brother. Aston was my age. And they liked to party. They were definitely on the other side of life, smoking weed, banging chicks, and they lived that life, right? But Aston's mom, she had built this Corbett company, basically using diamonds to cut concrete in Memphis. I think it's still about. And they were very rich. I mean, in our area, they were very rich. They lived in the richest neighborhood in Tennessee, Collierville, Tennessee. I wouldn't mind. Here, let me pull this down, and I'll show you the city that I lived in. And then I want to play a couple of videos. See, this is the kind of fun shit we do. You get to know me a little bit better after we finish the debrief, and especially during the Collierville, Tennessee. Houston High School in Germantown. So this was the city that I lived in. Uh-oh. And the high school that I went to in Tennessee. Does not want to pull up. So yeah, here we'll go Collierville. TN. Does it show? There we go. So yeah, I was born in Nashville, which this is Tennessee right here. So I was born up here, and then we moved down here. I lived in a small town outside of Memphis called Collierville. And then I went to Houston High School, that's the hospital there, right? Yeah, Baptist Memorial. And so, yeah, I lived in this town. But if I could find their neighborhood, if I remember exactly, if I can find Shea Road, I'll show you. They lived in a really nice town. Okay, so this is Shea Road. And then this goes to Shea Road, comes out over to, well, I guess it doesn't matter, but they lived in a nice place. And I think something went wrong. He was basically, he just didn't get his way. He didn't get what he wanted. He was told he wasn't allowed to go somewhere. And, the devil takes many different forms. But let's get over to the timeline here on my history on YouTube. There's something that I want to show you guys that I thought was very interesting by Patrick Bet-David today that really rubbed me the wrong way. It was this right here.
Well, he'll never forget and is still grieved over every single life that was lost, not just during COVID.
Let me see if I can find, where was it at? Was it right here?
They probably thought it'll never happen for him to get elected again. I'm sure you've seen that famous clip by Hillary.
Let me find the exact moment where he said, I forget now the timestamp. Power and accountability, times transcript, and then I want to show you what Patrick Bet-David said today. How many times did he say Epstein? He said Epstein 6 times in that video. Okay, here it is, 38 minutes.
And making those connections.
So to give you a preface, they're talking about immigration, and then I find it very interesting what PBD says here. Let me find the exact time stamp where he speaks.
You know when they criticize the president, because there's different conservatives. There's conservatives that are, the rhinos. You have the conservatives that are pro-life conservatives, Christians. Then you have the social media conservatives, the Twitter conservatives.
I will say, and I see the comments. I will say, he's got good content. Dude's got good content. He's biased as shit, but he's got good content. And it's important I watch this stuff because I learn whether or not I trust what they're saying is not the point. They talk about all the other things that are not inside my echo chamber. I don't want to hear about TPUSA every day, all day. I just can't do it. And I need to, because I like to, I'm getting back into stocks and investing, and I pay attention to the crypto market and finance. The broad political spectrum is important to understand what's happening outside of your little bubble, because if not, you're just in your echo chamber. So I watch PBD. Do I agree with him? I think that he's a sellout. I think that he's changed. I think he's actually always been this way. But it's gotten worse because he feels some type of accountability for Trump being elected, which is just, maybe he helped contribute, but
there's many different kinds.
But this right here, this jigga right here, son, this dude right here.
Right. And I look at each one of them as a different state that you have to win over. And they have different things that's important to them. Like the conservatives on X, Epstein's number one, right? You can go to YouTube. Maybe that's not a priority for them. When people say about
the only reason is because we can't talk about it.
And I say it was never in his 20 promises that he made. It was a promise that Cash Patel made. It was never in his 20 promises. Maybe that's not a priority for them. When people say about Epstein, I say it was never in his 20 promises that he made.
I said
it was a promise that Cash Patel say about Epstein. I say it was never in his 20 promises that
he said it was never in Trump's 20 promises that he made. So he's expanding because he actually did a timeline of all the things that Trump promised. When he says this, he's saying, I've already done the timeline of all the promises that Trump has made. I've got 25 of them or 20 of them. Out of all of them, Trump never promised to release the Epstein files
that he made. It was a promise that Cash Patel made. It was a promise that Pam Bondi made, but you never heard the president make that promise. Even when he was interviewed by Rachel Campos Duffy, he said yes to 9/11. He said yes to John F. Kennedy, but he was a little bit slow to saying to Epstein. So let's set the Epstein aside because that wasn't one of his 20 promises.
What? So you've got Department of Homeland Security on an interview, and she's supposed to keep this country safe from the same shit that these fucking files have pulled out. And he's just gonna push it aside because it wasn't one of Trump's promises. Are you shitting me, bro? PBD. Chikarme Kunidige, what are you doing, bro? Persian brother to brother, man. That is despicable. You aren't willing to raise the flag on this because it wasn't one of his promises. In fact, he actually said, Well, if you remember, I think I will. I mean, maybe not. There's a lot of people that would go down. So, oh shit. Did I get kicked off the internet? Let me look. Look at what he said.
Nothing's changed. We're still in.
Donald Trump responds, Epstein, JFK. What was the other one? Let me see. I guess maybe that's enough. If I can find that one, you guys all know what I'm talking about. That Epstein, JFK Epstein question, will he release files? Oh, Martin Luther King.
There's a lot of intrigue surrounding the release of the Epstein files, Martin Luther King files, John F. Kennedy files. Some current and former FBI agents are saying, some of them telling me, that they feel the FBI establishment came out ahead in the standoff sort of with the New York FBI field office over releasing the records, and your Attorney General Pam Bondi demanding them but not getting all that she wanted. Is that process still on track? I think that's one of the most often questions I've been asked the last couple of days, to release these records on Epstein, MLK, and JFK.
Well, Pam Bondi's done a phenomenal job in every respect. And there could have been some holdback. I haven't heard too much about it, but they could. But the bottom line is the records are getting out.
The records are getting out.
The Kennedy records are getting out. Those are the ones they really wanted to see the most, were the Kennedys. And during my administration.
Yeah, boomers. We all also want to see that, but we also want to see the freaking files, bro.
You know, I released a lot of them, but then a lot of people started coming in, people that I respected, people that worked for the administration, asked me not to release the rest. And I respected that. They gave me certain reasons, but I respected that. And I did say, I must tell you, I said that probably wish I did release the whole thing, because I have no idea what's in there. But since then they found, and we found 2,000 more documents.
This isn't the one that I was looking for, but they're acting like it was never of interest, which is crazy to me. Here, let me put Donald Trump, MLK, Epstein, JFK. Here, this is it, I think. No?
In the standoff sort of with the New York FBI, feeling them but not getting all that she wanted. It's on Epstein.
This is the same thing. Why can't I find it? Did they scrub it? Was this 11 months ago? Okay, so, oh well, I guess. Will he release? What is this, 2 weeks ago?
New fallout from the pages released by the Department of Justice on the investigation into convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Now, some in Congress are calling for Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick to resign due to his ties. And as ABC's Armando Garcia...
Make sure there's still 450 people here. Vote on the poll. It's kind of close. If you look right here, this poll that I've got. Do you prefer the earlier time of starts for these lives, which is 10:30, which I started today? I like it, actually. I could do that. Noon is fine. It's a little later, but if we can get a little bit more votes on this poll to see if we can balance this out a little bit more, to see where we're at, I'd appreciate it. Let's see what he says. I haven't seen this. And I know I'm getting a little off of where we started with Candace, but there's a lot of things to talk about that I want to mention.
Reports, there's questions about what the president may have known about Epstein's conduct.
A former Palm Beach, Florida police chief who investigated Jeffrey Epstein recalled Donald Trump calling police in 2006 to say, "Thank goodness you're stopping him. Everyone knows he's been doing this." The account, part of a 2019 FBI report on an interview with that police chief conducted months after Epstein's death, first reported by the Miami Herald. The FBI report also states Trump told Ryder that he was around Epstein once when teenagers were present, and Trump got the hell out of there. Trump was one of the very first people to call when people found out that they were investigating Epstein.
You know what I think? Let me tell you what I think. I think that you need to smash the like button. But what I actually think is Trump might be an informant. I've been hearing that Trump is an informant for the files for quite some time. Let me see if there's information on YouTube about that. Oh, yeah. Didn't Mike Johnson say that?
There were tears in the room. There was outrage. It was both, I would describe it as heartbreaking and infuriating.
This is, by the way, the hoax that the Democrats have put on.
Justice has been delayed so long. Some of the women in the room.
I expect he will, but I mean, the whole effort has been mooted. It's not necessary anymore. Let me make this very clear, as we've made several times the last couple of days. The Oversight Committee's effort goes further than the discharge.
What, do they mute it?
It's been misrepresented. He's not saying that what Epstein did is a hoax. It's a terrible, unspeakable evil. He believes that himself. When he first heard the rumor, he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. He was an FBI informant to try to... He believes that himself. When he first heard the rumor, he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. He was an FBI informant to try to take this stuff down.
Oh.
Him out of Mar-a-Lago. He was an FBI informant to try to take this.
So, yeah. And by the way, for those arguing in the comments about what time is what, coach is starting at 7 a.m. my time. That gives 3 hours. He goes for about 3.5 hours. I start at 10:30. If I do that, that would balance out. Do you understand? I think I'm going to do 10:30 anyways, but I need that, because what happens is my whole day gets consumed by the live stream and getting up into the live stream. Just so you know. This guy literally said it.
The president knows.
I need to screen record this.
He was an FBI informant.
This is, I think, why. This is why they don't want to release it. This is part of it. If Trump really didn't have anything to do with it, he was an informant, maybe he did, and he was trying to figure out a way to get squeaky clean out of it. Okay? If that's the case, if he's an informant and all those other people would go down, imagine what they'd do to him. Maybe that's why they're taking shots at him. You ever think of that? Maybe he's an informant. Obviously, it came from the speaker. His Speaker of the House literally leaked that Trump is an informant. So if that's the case, then that means all the people that are in the files getting leaked out by Trump, the president. Why do you think they don't want him in the office? Why do you think they tried to kill him? That's what I think is going on here. I think I just broke the whole case. I figured it out. No. There's so much shit. Yeah, another Freudian slip. Exactly. Another Freudian slip. This is crazy, man. I mean, yeah, this has been up for a minute, but yeah, I'm going to screen record it. I'll do it after. Anne Marie. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. Thank you. Let me bookmark this, put it into my watch list. Yeah, I mean, they're all in the files, right? So if they're all in the files, but he's trying to finagle himself a deal, wouldn't it make sense? Wouldn't it make sense to rat himself right out of it so that he can be the guy that took them all down and blah, 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 blah. All right, I'm going to cut it off. I got some stuff to do. I appreciate everyone for coming through. Thank you all for the supers and the time spent. We're going to do episode 3 tomorrow. And episode 3, I'm going to see what Candace goes through today. But I have planned to talk about the gambling bloodline, the school that they tried to erase on Erika's childhood education, what happens when you ask questions to things that are important for us, like Aubrey Leitch. You know, she, and I could show you, give you a friendly reminder of who Aubrey Leitch is. In case you don't know, a lot of people don't know her exactly who she is. But she's this one right here.
My name is Aubrey Leitch, and I am the former public relations manager.
So basically, she worked for TPUSA. She ended up getting stalked by their investigator.
I work for a legal service.
Oh, for a legal service?
Yeah, my name's Mike.
So they showed up at her house.
I have no idea.
Okay.
Yeah, I have no idea. I'm just a worker ant.
Private investigator. So Aubrey Leitch left, said some stuff, and they came straight after her, bro. Not good. Not good. More about like the Uber driver and stuff. So that's it. It's not much left on episode 3, but I'm going to add to episode 3 based off of Candace today. And I'm going to start doing that. I think I'm going to start digging deeper into what Candace is discussing and giving my edge to it, because I do have some deeper analysis. I doubt Candace was seeing this. I hope that maybe some of the things in the Truth Finder answers some of these questions. Maybe not. I'm pretty sure if there was, let me see. Let me see if I can find out exactly what it was, because I think there was a question that I was able to answer that Candace asked yesterday. And if we're able to help in any way bring out more of the truth, then this is a way to do it, is through the live streams, through the information. And what Candace really said specifically is that, let me think, what was it? Because she said, I think I have it in here too. Yeah, she specifically asked whether Lorie and Larry were actually legally married or if she just used his last name. And she even listed it as one of the 4 questions she sent to Erika's team that went unanswered. So today, I answered that. Is your mother, like, the Truth Finder pulls the answer, 2002 property filing for 9743 East Sharon Drive, listed as unmarried woman, right? Do you want to look at it again? Because that is basically the answer, no? Let me see. Unmarried. So that was in 2002, right? So on this property, let me see. There's 2 of them, I think. Unmarried woman, unmarried man. Let me see. Yeah, it doesn't. Does it say here? So this is the 2002. Okay. And at 2002, she was unmarried. So this is help pushing the investigation. And I didn't forget about the Rumblers. What's up, Rumblers? I know you guys are over there. Sorry, I haven't been in the chat much. Follow on Rumble, X, and YouTube and Rumble. It's all Dankster Intel. Let's get the views up on Rumble if you like to watch on Rumble. And we're going to actually be doing conspiracy content there and some other things that I'm interested in, more of the finance stuff, talking about the way that crypto and how the Genius Act is actually overtaking that for an agenda that they're trying to set forward and do a full reset monetarily. They've snuck it into the Genius Act. There's a lot of information that I know that is being unused. But anyways, follow me on Rumble. However, the Truth Finder report answers at least for 2002. At this time, she's unmarried, but she's doing these deeds and transfers of the property into the trust, and I find it strange. I find it strange. If you've ever gotten a mortgage for a trust, you know how complicated it is, providing all the paperwork needed. Absolutely. Absolutely, I know. So, I appreciate you all. We will be back tomorrow, same time, 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll run it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for tuning in. And yeah, thanks for the Danksterettes and the Danksters. And we'll see you tomorrow. See you guys. Peace.